As soon as you see her, you just imagine a dick in her mouth. Like, bitch, just pull up to the crib. Money cannot unlame you. You'll never get rid of anxiety when you're just in the house jerking off all fucking day. No point in stressing over bullshit. There's no point in being depressed about certain shit. So, I was having a conversation with someone about, and they were telling me how they have so much anxiety about just every day and everyday life. And they said the only way to get rid of their anxiety is when they take these depression pills, or when they smoke, or when they drink. And I'm sitting there having a conversation with people, and if you watch these videos, I'm going to be honest, I don't talk to people like this in real life. Like, if someone, like this person I was clearly talking to, if I spoke to her what I really thought about her situation, she would probably just, it wouldn't get to her, and it is a girl, so she probably wouldn't receive it how I wanted her to receive it. So I'm like, I just let her be her, and I gave her what advice I could that she could handle, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna give you the real scoop on how to really get rid of anxiety and why people have anxiety, and I'll tell you a story of how I used to have a lot of anxiety and the reason I had it. So I used to have a lot of anxiety. I used to hate going outside. I used to hate talking to people. I remember every day I would just be so pissed off. Like, if I had to go outside, I'd be nervous. I could never look somebody in the eye when talking to them. I could never talk. I remember I had so much anxiety once that I remember I would be nervous just to even walk in a fast food restaurant and order my fucking food. Like, because I'd be just nervous about having a conversation with somebody. I'd be so worried about what that person thought of me. And I remember this one time I had walked in there, and I remember I had walked into this Wendy's and I had left my credit card, and I didn't realize it till hours later. And I remember walking back into that Wendy's, and the lady gives me, and I'm like shaking, taking it back as if it's not my credit card, because I didn't want her to think that I was like lying to her. Same thing with, I remember being with women at times, and I remember like they'd be ready to go, like ready to do what we had to do, and I just couldn't get up, or I'd be nervous, or I'd be like like I'd be like all in my head about what they would think about certain things, or how they would feel if I didn't perform well. And having anxiety when you're about to have sex is the worst thing you could ever have, because you know, just getting hard, it's about blood flow and relaxation and all that extra shit, right? But I remember that all of those issues I had with just being nervous, being on FaceTime, just being nervous to even have people see my face, wondering what people thought about me all the time. The reason I had all of that anxiety, the reason I couldn't have a conversation with nobody, and the first thing I would do was just think, is because I wasn't keeping my word to myself on anything I do. And there was a lot of things in my life that I was doing that I was so ashamed of. Like, prime example, just even something like porn. Like, I remember I haven't watched porn in 2-3 years. But I remember when I was watching it, I remember I was so ashamed of what I was doing that I remember like I couldn't talk to somebody because I was ashamed of what I did the night before. I was ashamed of just being myself because I knew I did something extremely heinous the night before. And that's why you see a lot of people have so much anxiety nowadays. They're so nervous just to talk to somebody because they just watched some bullshit the night before. Like, they like, you can't, if you watch other motherfuckers fuck on camera, you know that shit is some shameful ass shit. So if you do that the night before, you may think that nobody knows you're doing this on a daily basis. But when I look in somebody's face, you can clearly see when they've been doing some bullshit the night before every single time. Every single time I can see it in somebody's face. They're just nervous to look you in the eyes. The reason when you talk to a girl, you're so fucking nervous is because you just, as soon as you see her, you just imagine a dick in her mouth. Like, you need to fucking relax. You're gonna get to that stage, but you just gotta wait a couple stages, my nigga. You've already jumped to conclusion to base fucking 4 when you're at base 1. Just say hi, but you're nervous to say hi because you've already imagined her as a sexual object. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad about who you are. I'm just saying this is how I used to be. I used to be the guy that would have all this anxiety just to even have a conversation with a woman, much less get to that stage. I'm already thinking about, oh, damn, is she gonna sleep with me? Whatever the case may be. Now I just speak to a woman. I don't even think about that shit. I'm like, I'm just saying hi. I'm just being cool. But you niggas be so nervous to talk to women because you've already thought of fucking base 4. My nigga, you're jumping conclusions. Like, you can't think straight because you're already thinking about if she's gonna fuck. Like, relax. Take 2 seconds. Have a conversation with her. You don't even know if you like the bitch. The bitch could have fucking herpes and you're sitting there wondering if you're gonna fuck a girl. Relax, my nigga. Relax. Take 2 seconds out of your day. And this all happens because you keep watching a whole bunch of heinous shit on your fucking phone all the time. And you're not keeping your word to yourself, especially when you know you're doing something wrong. If you told yourself, I'm not gonna watch this tonight, I'm not gonna watch this tonight, I'm not gonna watch this tonight, and then you do it every single time you tell yourself not to do it, the next morning, you didn't keep your word to yourself. Yourself doesn't even listen to you. So why would it listen to you when it says, I want to be a confident person? You're not. It's impossible to be. It's impossible to be a person who doesn't have anxiety. It's impossible to be a super confident person when you have all of these extremely bad vices in your life, all these extremely these shameful ass things you're doing that, if you were to look at yourself in the mirror, if you were to look at yourself in the mirror, you're ashamed of the person you are. And this is coming from a nigga who used to be that way. I was the definition of scaring hoes away, bro. The definition of it. So, and a lot of you niggas scare hoes the far away from you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers scare hoes far away. As soon as you talk, the bitch don't even want to look at you. Because you just so fucking antsy. Like, you need to relax, bro. You need to relax. And this just comes with everything. If you say you're gonna go to the gym every day and you don't go to the gym, boom, another loss, more anxiety, another loss in confidence. I'm not gonna watch porn tonight and you do, another loss in confidence. I'm gonna go walk up to that girl, but I don't, another loss in confidence. I'm gonna start this business plan, but I don't, another loss in confidence. Every single time. You can't run away from you. You can try to hide it from the rest of the world, but the rest of the world perceives you as you perceive yourself. So if you perceive yourself as someone who isn't confident, as someone who doesn't believe in their own self, like you don't listen to you, the world perceives you as you perceive you. So if you know you're a loser inside, the rest of the world is gonna see you as a loser. There's no such thing as constantly repeating affirmations in the fucking mirror, saying, oh, I'm this, I'm proud, I'm strong, blah, 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 whatever. I'm proud and I'm happy to be me. You can say that 50 times. If your actions are not displaying this, you're never gonna be proud of yourself. If you know when you look in the mirror that you're a fat piece of shit, you're never going to be proud of yourself. If you know that you're supposed to be doing something, you're supposed to be working on this part of your business to change your life trajectory, and you just go home and fuck off all the time, you're not going to be proud of yourself. People think the result is what makes them proud of yourself. No, it's the work you put in to become the person that you want to be. It's the work that you put in that gives you the confidence. That's why you see a lot of people who are not self-made, a lot of people who are given things, they're never usually proud of who they are. Never, ever proud of who they are. And that's why they go do a whole bunch of heinous shit, because they have all this money, they have everything that they need, all the results that everybody else is looking for, but they don't have the self-fulfillment of character that it takes to get to be that type of guy. So they know they're living a facade. You could pull up in a Ferrari, but if you're not the type of person who earned his Ferrari, who put the work in to get his Ferrari, then that shit is gonna radiate off you. You're gonna radiate off as a bitch. You know that saying when they say money can't unlame you? It is true to an extent. A lot of niggas who say that shit are usually just broke people trying to cope with the fact that they're broke. But it is true. Money cannot unlame you. It cannot make you a better person. It cannot make you more confident in yourself. Maybe for a couple months, maybe you'll get the dopamine rise of having some money, be able to spend some money on something. But if you don't have any confidence in you, if you know you didn't earn whatever result you've gotten, if you know deep inside your heart that you're not confident in you, you'll never, ever be happy with yourself. You'll never get rid of anxiety. You'll have more anxiety because you won't even know the answer. You need to validate yourself with your word. The moment you validate yourself with your word is when you'll be confident. And when you're a constant drinker, when you're constantly running away from yourself, you smoke weed, you drink, you watch porn, you do all these bad things in your life, it's going to be very hard because you're running away from yourself every day. You're looking for constant dopamine hits. And then when you go outside in the real world, you can't have a conversation with somebody. You can't talk to somebody. You walk in public and the first thing you think is, does everybody else like me? That's not the first thing I ever think when I walk outside. My first question, if I walk into a crowd or a room or I walk somewhere and I see a whole bunch of people, my first thing I think is, do I like them? Do they fit my standards? They have to rise to my standards. I could give a fuck if other people like me. I could care less if this person likes me. I don't care at all. I never did care, and I never will care. I never ever will care about the opinion of someone else. It's never gonna bother me. And that's what anxiety is. Anxiety is just you are worried about the future you, and you're also worried about the opinion of others about you. And the reason you're worried about the opinion of others, the reason you seek outside validation is because you haven't validated yourself. But let's say you get up early tomorrow morning. You say, tomorrow I'm gonna get up at 5. Tomorrow I'm gonna get up at 6. And you get up at 6. Tomorrow I'm going to the gym. And I'm gonna do this, this, and this when I go to the gym. You do that. Then on top of that, you say, I'm gonna figure out a way to get out of my 9 to 5. I'm gonna work on this business. I'm gonna study this business. Then you do that as well. Once you do those things and you told yourself you were gonna do that the day before and you went and did them, every single thing to a T, your confidence automatically shoots up. It shoots up immediately because you kept your word to yourself. You can't run from you. You can never. Let me explain something to you. I'm sorry, somebody had called me, so I had to restart the video. But most people in the world aren't worried about you as much as you think they are. They don't care about what you do. They don't care about who you are. If a person is so worried about themselves, they're usually a bum anyway. Because why are you so worried about me when you have your own life to live? I don't care what this person thinks. And that is anxiety in a nutshell. I'm going to tell you, the people with the most anxiety are usually the people who have never kept their word to themselves. They're usually out of shape. Out of shape people have the most anxiety. People who sit in the house all day and play video games and jerk off all fucking day and drink or smoke all day and smoke weed, and they're just doing a whole bunch of they're adding a whole bunch of useless dopamine into their life. These are the people with the most anxiety. And you know why they have the most anxiety? Because they never ever kept their word to themselves. Every time. Every time. I've never seen it the other way. I've never seen somebody who does what he's supposed to do, goes to the gym, make sure he's doing the work that he needs to do to make sure he is financially stable in his life, does everything, he does what he needs to do on a daily basis, takes care of himself, stays independent, he challenges himself every day, does a difficult task in order to have a better future. I've never seen that person have anxiety. Never in my life. I've never seen it in my life. And also another thing that anxiety comes from is not going outside and having conversations with others. I don't agree with this whole monk mode shit. I don't agree with just being by yourself every fucking day. I don't agree with it. I'm not by myself. Okay, I am by myself a lot. But I do go out and I have conversations. I do talk to women. I do these things. Because constantly sitting and being by yourself all day, it's just gonna drive you fucking crazy, bro. It's okay to go talk to people. And most of you motherfuckers just say you're in monk mode when you're just in the house jerking off all fucking day. And that's why most of you motherfuckers don't have motivation at all, because you just jerked it in your hand the night before. And you expect to be fucking not anxious the next day. It's impossible. It's impossible to not have anxiety in the next day if you're doing some bullshit the night before. It's impossible to not have anxiety if you keep telling yourself you're going to put down the blunt and then you face another L the next day. It's impossible to say I'm not going to drink and then you find yourself drunk the next day. It's impossible. You have to put down the vices. Get clarity with yourself in order for the anxiety to leave you. You have to stick to daily tasks that challenge you on a daily basis. And this is not something, I'm not saying go cold turkey tomorrow. Start off slow. And don't say, oh, I'm not going to do this for the next 3 months. I'm not going to do this for the next week. Say, for tomorrow, I'm not going to drink. Tomorrow, I'm not going to smoke. Tomorrow, I'm not going to jerk off. Tomorrow, I'm not going to watch TV. Tomorrow, I'm not going to scroll. Get rid of the things that in your life that you know are holding you back. And nobody has to tell you what's holding you back. You don't have to look for confirmation from me. If it's not bringing any value to your life, get rid of said thing. Get rid of it. You know that yourself. I'll tell you right now, I'm still struggling. Sometimes I find myself scrolling all the time, especially when I'm at work and I'm bored. But I identified the problem and I'm actively trying to fix it. Some of you motherfuckers have way worse habits though. You're smoking. You're drinking. You're watching bullshit on your phone. Niggas can't even, I could give a nigga my phone right now. You won't find nothing. Maybe some freaky ass messages with women, but I'm about to stop doing that shit. Like, bitch, just pull up to the crib. The fuck is we talking like this through text messages for? Just pull up to the crib. There's no reason for me to fucking do this kiki with you and shit like that. What time is it? 4 minutes. So, yeah, that's where most of this shit comes from. And I think a lot of the issues people have, and the reason they don't have the answers to these issues, the reason you think that you need to take a pill for your anxiety, the reason you think that you need to smoke to get rid of your anxiety, even you're running towards the thing that's giving you more pain. Every time you're stressed out, every time you're going through some situation that brings you more pain, and you take a drink or you eat some food that you know is not conducive to the body that you want, you're just giving yourself more pain. And the more you run away from the pain that you're trying to avoid by running to that vice or running to that substance, the more difficult the pain becomes, the more difficult it becomes to face the pain. The more hard it is to face the stress. Stress, everybody deals with it. And there is a reason. God gives people stress as a blessing. God gave you pain as a blessing. If you lost a girl, if you're going through something in your life, thank God he gave it to you so now you can face it. He wants you to grow up. He wants you to grow into a better person. He doesn't want you to run away from it. He needs you to run through it. Everything you want in life is on the opposite door, and that door is pain. You just have to run through the pain. You have to push yourself through it. You have to deal with the issues. You have to figure out the solutions. God is giving you your blessing and you're looking at it as a curse. You're asking God, can you please get me out of this situation? No, you say, thank you, Jesus Christ, for giving me all of this pain. I never ever grew with age. I grew with pain. The only thing that happens on my birthday is I get older. The only time I grew up, the only time I became a better person with age is when pain came with it. I only grow with pain. I don't grow with age. You learn that in life. You learn that in life. So every single thing everything that's happening in your life, everything that's happening in your situation, every issue you have, that is a blessing from God himself. So just push yourself through it. You don't have to, it's not like, Stop looking at it as something that's a curse, bro. It happens to all of us. We all go through stress. And somebody told me one time, he said, everybody thinks that their problems are worse than everybody else's. So again, stressing about it and running away from it or complaining about it to someone else, there's no real point in doing it because nobody thinks your problem is worse than theirs. I could be going through the worst shit right now. I could have my mom die, my dad died. The person who stubbed their toe is gonna think that's a bigger problem than any of that shit. So what the fuck do you care for? There's no point in being depressed. There's no point in being so depressed that you wanna unalive yourself. I'm trying to avoid a word because this is YouTube. But there's no point in those things. Because at the end of the day, if you do some shit like that, that's what I'm gonna just put it at that, read between the lines. I want you to know that the next day, everybody else is just gonna go to work. Some people may be sad, but everybody's just gonna continue with their life. So there's no point in stressing over bullshit. There's no point in being depressed about certain shit. You're just wasting moments of your precious life when you become depressed about certain shit. Learn to handle it. And the way you handle it is not through a pill. It's not through smoking. It's not through drinking. It's not through eating. It's by putting yourself in difficult, painful situations and going head on with whatever is giving you the most pain. If being overweight is giving you pain, you need to go to the fucking gym. If being broke is giving you the most pain, you need to figure out a fucking way to make some more money. And stop running away from it. Get rid of the useless dopamine. And if you have anxiety, it's an easy fix. Get rid of all of the useless dopamine in your life. All of the drinking, all of the drugs, all of the porn, all of the TV, all of the Netflix, all of the scrolling, all of the bullshit shit you're watching or bullshit that's going on in your life. Get rid of all of that you can, all of the controllables. Come up with some daily tasks that force you to become a better person. Going to the gym. Working hard on some deep work or business. Getting another job. Becoming better with women. Having a better conversationalist. And you keep your word, you do those daily tasks every single day. Miraculously, your anxiety will go away.